What up, everybody? In a recent interview with the Associated Press, Josesh Sikora, who plays Tommy Egan in the Power universe, teased the potential death of Tommy coming in season 3 of Force. He said that he can't give no promises that Tommy's going to survive this third season, indicating that not even Tommy's safe to make it out of the final season of Force alive. And I know this sounds like a contradiction to what Sikora said in the video that was made to announce that season 3 of Force would be the final season, when he said, "But don't worry, Tommy's journey is far from over. It's just getting started." But like I said at the time, this could have definitely been talking about Tommy's journey isn't over, because we're going to see the beginning of Tommy's story in Power Origins. And technically, that would mean that Tommy's journey is just getting started. And with that said, after he said that he can't make any promises that Tommy will survive the third season, he went on to say even if Tommy doesn't make it through this final season, is it the end for Tommy? I don't know. As he went on to talk about becoming a producer and producing episode 3 of the upcoming season of Raising Kanan, and said he hopes to be a part of the production of Power Origins, and that he wants to work with the younger Tommy to help him find his inner gangster. And when it comes to Tommy and being a gangster, Sikora said there is a world where gangsters get old, but I don't know if that's going to be the same fate for Tommy. And of course, I know there's been reports that there's a new spinoff called Power Legacy currently in the writer's room. And in the article that announced this, it said Josesh Sikora and Michael Rainey Jr. are expected to lead the new series set in the present timeline, reprising their Power franchise roles of Tommy Egan and Tariq St. Patrick, respectively, we hear. Notice this didn't actually have confirmation that Tommy or Tariq would actually be in Legacy, though. And with that said, after Sikora finished talking about the potential death of Tommy in season 3 of Force, the journalist from the AP asked Tommy about Legacy, noting that not just fans, but trades and journalists have reported that Tommy will be in Legacy, when Sikora said that there's nothing official on his end. Then when we look at the next phase of the Power universe with Legacy and Origins, does it actually make sense for Tommy to die in season 3 of Force? Because when it comes to the prequels, Raising Kanan and Origins, in Raising Kanan we haven't seen one character who was alive on the OG Power timeline appear on screen yet in Raising Kanan. Either though we could debate that Kate Egan made a guest appearance when Lou was at the bar for one scene. And when we're talking about prequel stories, these are normally something that take place after the original character dies. So with Origins currently in production, it would actually make sense for Tommy to die in season 3 of Force for that reason. And sticking with that concept, we might also see Kate die in Force season 3 as well, because we also know that she's going to have to be a part of Power Origins. In addition to the fact that a character is normally dead when a prequel takes place, either though I should add this isn't always the case. The name of the upcoming Power spinoff on the current timeline is called Legacy. And the word legacy means something that is left behind in a will after someone dies, like money or property. Another definition says it's a person's long-lasting impact, normally something that continues after death. And a big part of what most people consider their legacy is their children that they leave behind after they pass. And a family's legacy refers to a family's collective identity, history, and the principles that shape the members. So to me, when I hear the name Power Legacy, to me this sounds more like something that features the next generation of the Power universe, the legacy that the dead characters have left behind. Like Tariq and Yaz being Ghost's legacy, Kane, Drew, and Diana being Monet and Lorenzo's legacy, with other second generation Power characters like Elise Marie Proctor and Cash Grant. And to a lesser degree, if Tommy were to die, his nephew D-Mac, either though that would be more relevant to JP passing. But if Tommy does survive and go into Legacy, a must-have storyline, in my opinion, should be Tommy getting Mireya, or whoever his love interest is at that point in time, pregnant. And with that said, there's also a chance that Tommy dies, but not before getting Mireya pregnant first, leaving a family legacy behind right before his death. And if Tommy were to die in season 3 of Force, even though he has so many enemies at this point, it could be anyone. I think it would most likely be a legacy character who pulls the trigger. And I got 3 characters in mind and 1 potential wild card. The first being Elisa Marie Proctor, simply because the Easter eggs were dropped in OG Power that Elisa Marie would come back into the picture once she got older. With Elisa Marie knowing that Tommy killed her father and her uncle, and with Tommy telling Elisa Marie last time they saw each other that if she wants to come see him about it, one day he'd understand. And another from when Tommy killed Proctor and Proctor told him this isn't over. And with the time that's passed since OG Power, Elisa Marie is probably around the same age at this point that Tariq was when he shot Ghost. And another wild card in regards to Elisa Marie Proctor is that recording of Tommy killing Ruiz and admitting to killing Lobos. Because even though Elisa Marie gave Tommy a copy for him to destroy, it wouldn't have took her anything to make another copy and just give one to Tommy to get him to leave them alone. The next person who could cancel Tommy Egan's Christmas is Tariq St. Patrick. And even though I believe that Ghost is still alive, if Ghost is in fact dead, that would mean that Tariq killed Ghost, set up Kanan to die. And if Tariq were to take out Tommy next, this would be Tariq single-handedly wiping out the main cast of Power Origins. Keep it in mind in season 3 of Ghost, Tommy told Tariq, "You think you're finally gonna kill me, huh? Well, you killed your father, so pulling the trigger on me ain't gonna be nothing to you." And Tariq killing Tommy would generate the same level of heat, if not more, that Tariq was getting after shooting Ghost at the conclusion of OG Power. And another character that would generate the same type of heat that Tariq got when he shot Ghost if he were to kill Tommy is D-Mac. Because even though Tommy is his uncle and not his father, the relationship with D-Mac and Tommy does have parallels to Tariq and Ghost, specifically talking about Tommy trying to keep D-Mac out of the streets. And because of that, D-Mac is building up a similar resentment towards Tommy that Tariq had for Ghost. Because something to keep in mind about Tommy and D-Mac is that Tommy just came into D-Mac's life when he was 16 and had already pretty much been in the streets his whole life. So now Tommy's trying to step in and take D-Mac away from the only life he really knows. And even though we know at some point Tommy's going to say he's going to baptize D-Mac into the life like Kanan did him and Ghost, there could still be something that goes down that causes D-Mac to want to take out Tommy. And my wild card character is Kane Tejada. Either though Kane is somebody we would see coming when it comes to taking out Tommy, Woody McClain, who plays Kane, made a post I haven't been able to get over. His post said, "Oh, y'all like the one that ended Ghost's life. Hashtag noted." And notice the date of this post, July 29th, 2024, which was right at the end when season 3 of Force was getting done filming. And the fact he said noted after mentioning how people like Tariq, the one who ended Ghost's life, had me to think that Kane could potentially be the one to take out Tommy. Keep it in mind that he did leave New York at the end of season 4 of Ghost and could potentially be in Chicago. But in regards to Tommy's death, Josesh Sikora is also now on the new show, Reasonable Doubt. So that could play a factor in whether Tommy lives or dies also. And I wouldn't be surprised if they shot alternate endings to the end of Force, one with Tommy living and one with him dying. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.